Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
That's it.
This is E minor?
Yeah.
E major.
Mm-hmm. F sharp major.
Wait, can I play this one on an octave higher? I'm like, wow, it sounds so dreary. I'm like, I'm all the way down on the piano.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
This is E minor? Major.
Yeah.
E major.
And then E minor would be...
Oh.
Yeah. And then what would be an F sharp major?
F major?
F sharp major.
F sharp major.
Mm-hmm.
F sharp major. No. This is F major. Oh, you're saying that I have to change all of these?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to change all of these just down one.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's an F sharp major.
Woohoo!
Yeah, man.
F sharp major.
Alright, let's do a tricky one. What would
Okay. That one was tricky.
That one was tricky.
This one was so tricky.
Let's do a G sharp minor.
G sharp minor.
Mm-hmm.
G sharp minor. Okay. G sharp minor or major?
Minor.
Minor. Oh, how do I play that? Is that it?
Yeah.
Do I get it?
Yeah, that's it.
This is an F sharp major.
G sharp minor.
G sharp minor.
You found it, I don't know.
I count, but then I forget what I'm looking for, so then I just say whatever sounds.
That one sounds right. Yeah. So
I just need to memorize the keyboard and then like the notes on the keyboard, and then everything else will make a lot more sense.
I'll give you.
I can find it. I just don't have the.
Yeah. I'll give you some exercises too that'll help with that, because I was talking to Mark about that, about like how, because we won't have time to go into scales right now, but the thing that'll help is like if you take each specific note and you just practice what are the intervals, right, with each note, that'll help you immensely. Like if you know, oh, I'm on a B flat, and then you know, a perfect fifth from B flat is this, right?
Yeah.
If you the more you just know that offhand, the easier scales will be too, because it's all based on like the intervals, like moving up, and so the more you understand that, the easier it is to talk with scales, and the easier it is, instead of being like, okay, this is what a C scale looks like, this is what this scale looks like. It's more like any major scale has these intervals in it. And then if you know the intervals from any note, same with like chords, is just practicing, you know, major, minor chords from every single note possible. Because then if you say C sharp minor, instead of being like, oh, what are the intervals for this? You're just like, boom, I know what a C sharp minor is. And that just comes with time. Yeah. And so then the other two chords we'll talk about are, and you'll remember these words, is augmented and diminished.
Augmented and diminished. Okay, wait, what is the recap that we should talk about from here?
Well, we can recap at the end.
That's all good, right?
Yeah.
The augmented, okay, never mind.
Yeah, no problem. So the augmented and diminished, basically the way that I like to think of them is, because augmented is raised,
Diminished is
lowered,
yeah.
And so the way that I like to think about them is an augmented chord is just a major chord with the fifth raised a half step.
Or diminished a half step.
And then diminished would be a minor chord with the fifth lowered a half step. So like to show you, so like if you've got a C major chord, right?
C major chord.
That would be... So then you keep that major third there, right? But you just take the fifth and move it up a half step. So this would be a C augmented.
C augmented. And then this is a C diminished.
Close. So you want to start from a minor C chord, right?
Oh, from a minor C chord.
And then...
And Jesus, C minor.
And then you just lower the fifth a half step.
The fifth a half step. Oh, so this one, the third always has to be minor?
And for the augmented, the third is always going to be major. And that's why it's easy to think of like major and minor chords. The fifth is always the same. It's just the third that's changing, right?
Yeah.
And then augmented and diminished, the third is always going to be like the same as it was in a major or minor chord, but the fifth is changing, right?
But then for the C major diminished, we had to...
Or C diminished, there would be no C major diminished.
So why is the C diminished also a minor for the third and a lowered for the fifth?
Here's where we get into the theory of what I was talking about, like stacking thirds for chords.
Yes, I want to know this.
Yeah. So if you think about a major chord, right?
Major chord.
What happens is you take whatever the root note is,
Root note.
and that's whatever you'd call it. Like if you call it a C chord, that means the C is the beginning of the chord.
Yeah.
So the C is the root note in a C chord. So if you took a major chord, you'd do a major third above the C, right?
So major third.
And then above that would be a minor third above the E, right?
Okay, I'm going to not look at this. Could you just repeat that one thing?
No problem.
From the root.
Yeah, so we've got the C is the root, right? So there are different ways to think about chords. I showed you the like for major and minor, just keeping a perfect fifth and then changing the third, right? The other way to think about chords, and this becomes more prominent in like seventh chords and stuff, is it's always thirds stacked on top of each other. So if you take a C and then you do a major third, and then from the major third note, which is the E there, right? You do a minor third on top of that. So, and that's a C major chord, right?
Yeah.
So that's a major third
Major third.
with a minor third stacked on top of it, and that's what a major C chord is, or any major chord. It's going to be a major third, and then the next interval is a minor third, right? And any minor chord is going to be a minor third with a major third stacked on top of it.
Minor chord with a major chord stacked.
Well, so if we go back to like intervals that we were talking about, right? So if you took a C and you went, what's a minor third above C?
What's a minor third above C? Minor?
Just the interval though, like not worrying about the chord.
Oh.
Because like remember minor seconds, major seconds, minor thirds, major thirds, all that stuff. So what would be a minor third above C?
Minor third?
Yep. And then from this note, from the E flat, what would be a major third above that?
A major third above this one?
So then if you put those two things together, you have a minor chord, right? So that's why you would call it, or could call it, a minor third with a major third stacked on top of it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. Because instead of looking at a chord, you're just calling it the distance from here to here, and then the distance from here to here.
Yeah. Okay. And then if you took a major chord, what would the intervals be then?
The intervals would be a major third, and then a minor third.
And so that's true of all major and minor chords. It's always going to be those stackings, no matter what note you start on. So if we're talking about augmented or diminished chords, right?
Okay, yes.
The way you can think about them is an augmented is basically like an extra raised chord, like extra major.
Extra major.
Like,
okay.
So like,
Extra major.
if you take you got the major third, right?
Major third.
And then instead of adding a minor third on top of it, adding a major third on top of it.
So then you just give it one.
And that's an augmented chord. So it's
chord.
two major thirds stacked on top of each other.
Cool.
And then
diminished though would be minor and minor.
Yeah.
Ha-ha!
Yeah, man, that's the way to do it. So what would a diminished, C diminished look like?
Yeah, let me just 2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
That's it.
Is it really it?
That's a C diminished chord,
Diminished chord. Got it.
Yeah, man.
Yo, we did it.
That's it.
Wow.
So
That's
let's try some of those from different notes. From an F.
F.
What would be a F major chord?
F major. I can count it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, duh.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it way too hard.
No, it's all good. So then what would an F augmented be?
F augmented would be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then let's try a G minor.
G minor.
Mm-hmm. And then what would a G diminished be?
G diminished would be...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's try an A augmented.
A augmented.
Mm-hmm. It's close. What kind of third do you have there?
Do I have to do that?
Yeah. Let's try a B diminished.
A B diminished.
Mm-hmm.
Diminished. Yeah?
You got it.
Got it?
That's it. Let's try a F sharp minor.
F sharp minor. Fuck you. You have to cut that out. I don't think they'll swearing.
I don't think they'll care. This is just basically
F sharp.
to show them how I teach, I guess.
F what?
F sharp minor.
Minor. Is it diminished or not?
No, just a regular
just
minor.
A regular. Okay. I'm learning so much that my brain can't think of what.
It has been a lot very quick. This is like 3 chapters or more.
F sharp minor.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure about the.
You're
It
so
has to be.
close.
It has to be the perfect fifth. The perfect fifth
Mhm.
vowels that I forgot. This is minor. 3, 4,
Yep, there it is.
5.
So, how about an F sharp augmented?
F sharp. Thank you for giving me this half step. Half F sharp augmented
Yeah.
would be this.
Yeah. That's it. Cool.
F sharp augmented.
Yeah, man. What time is it? I feel like we should write down
all those things.
recap stuff.
Yeah, seriously.
And like stuff to work on so that it won't fly away from your brain.
That'd be awesome. Sharp augmented.
Yeah, it's 1:55. So yeah, let's I think you got a good written down of like what we did. And then I can just write down some like exercises, or if you want to write them down, it's up to you.
Yeah, can I just figure out the augmented deep?
Yeah, go for it.
The augmented was the perfect fifth up one and then a major, the third major. So 3M plus P5 with the add-on.
Yeah, or you could write it like
how do you
like major third. Let's see.
just use the line below that I did?
Sure. Major third with a augmented fifth.
Okay, augmented fifth.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Or raised
diminished,
fifth.
yeah.
And then diminished would be a minor third with a diminished fifth.
Ah, okay.
Or you could write it too for the chords, like if you're writing the thirds stacking on top of each other way.
Yeah, I like that way. I like that way.
You go major third. For an augmented, you go major third and major third.
Okay.
And then for diminished, you go minor third and minor third.
Yeah.
And then for a major chord, I can even write it for this too. For a major chord, it'd be major third, minor third, and for a minor chord,